do you make, Mike, of just this idea on a larger scale of the insecure guy? Because a lot of women will say, you know, the guys that don't like the girls' night out, the guys that don't want their women to go and do, you know, the girls only weekend in Barbados, you know, where they're all half naked and do, you know, the guys that they label them as an insecure guy who just, you know, is afraid of getting cheated on. He's not secure in his manhood. He's not secure in his relationship. And your response is what?
So I love this question because I get this all the time. And I want you guys to understand my answer is not because I was cheated on. My answer is because I'm the guy on stage with Diplo. I'm the guy standing behind Marshmallow. I'm the guy sitting up on stage with the Chainsmokers every week here in Las Vegas. And I know they're cheating. I see it with my own eyes. Like, it's not one of these things where, like, I'm part of the problem. I'm standing next to the dudes who are the problem. I see women come to Las Vegas, go to Coachella, they go to Ultra, they go to Ibiza, they go to Dubai, they go to these different places without their man, and then next thing you know, they end up cheating. And by the way, I truly believe they got off the aircraft truly believing that they were going to be faithful to their man. But you put enough pressure on any human being and it starts to affect them. Here's a different kind of example. If you have a group of couples, married couples, and one of those couples gets divorced, the probability of the other couples getting divorced skyrockets. If you have a house, if you have a neighborhood full of homes, once one of the homes sells, somebody sells, the other homes in that same area start to sell as well. There's statistics that show this. Humans are a product of the stimulus in their environment to some extent. And so if you have a woman and she's around attractive men on a regular basis or vice versa, you're going to have people cheat. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm hurt. I'm not hurt or insecure. I'm part of the problem. I'm going to be in a couple of weeks on the Marquee Sky Deck for EDC, and there will be literally 7 girls for every guy dressed in pasties up there, and half of them have boyfriends that couldn't get up onto the deck because it was $5,000 for a wristband. I know for a fact this is happening. And so that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think you're insecure. I just don't know. If your girl needs to go to Coachella without you, here's the thing, Jedediah, here's the thing. We're never going to know body count. I remember you said that. You were talking about that with Rollo when you interviewed Rollo. You're never going to know someone's body count. You're never going to not going to know mine. I'm not going to know yours. No matter what you say, I'm never really going to know. But what I can know is whether or not you require stimulus outside of our relationship for validation. That is plain to see. And if you consistently require stimulus outside of our relationship, then the likelihood is you are probably going to cheat. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm the one being cheated on. I'm saying this because I'm the one at like the Marquee Sky Deck. I'm the one on stage at Access. I'm there watching these women do this with walking off with celebrities, knowing full well they have boyfriends. I've watched it. And so that's why I know this to be the case. And so it's unfortunate, and I see this all the time, but you can't have me living in Las Vegas and try to run this nonsense to me that you need to go to Stagecoach without me, honey. I'm going to go by myself with my female friends. Why do you need that stimulus to go without your boyfriend? And the reason why is because you like the idea of men flirting with you, huh?
I'm trying to remember who it was that talked about the festival girl. It might have been Andrew Tate. I'm not sure. Somebody talks about the festival girls. I was never into festivals, but there is there's something about these women. There's like a common thread running through a lot of these festival girls that like to go. I'm just always wondering, what's wrong with these guys? Right? Like you can say, well, what, honey, why do you want to go to a festival half naked and leave your boyfriend that you supposedly love at home? Like, why isn't he invited with you? And secondly, who are you trying to impress when he's not there? Obviously, it's not for yourself, or you would just stay at home, get dressed up, and look at yourself in the mirror. So we can assess that. But also, what is wrong with these men that just say, oh, honey, have a great time. I'll see you when you get back. Because they're all over the place sending these women on these ventures. Are these men just completely, have they lost all sense of self?
I hate to be this reductive, but they're just usually liberals. They're usually men who I've been sold a bill of nonsense by Hollywood.
Yeah.
Do you remember that picture? There's a video where Jason Momoa is hugging this girl and her boyfriend, he's pushing her away. Guys, look it up. You can probably find it. And he's doing a show or whatever, and he's pushing the boyfriend away while hugging the girl. And he thinks that's funny because in his world, it's okay. In the Hollywood world, it's okay if your buddy grabs your girl's butt. It's fine. Why are you so insecure, bro? Let your girl flirt with whoever she wants to, bro. Because he's not doing it because he's trying to be an alpha. He's doing it Jason Momoa in that case is doing it because he doesn't know any better. That's how he would be. Like, these guys think it's totally appropriate to violate the boundaries of someone else's physical relationship. They don't seem to have a problem with it. So if you keep telling these men, why are you so insecure? What they're going to do is go out of their way. Just like you call someone racist, they go out of their way to show you they're not racist. You keep calling a man insecure, he goes out of his way to show that he's not insecure. So he gives this girl the black card. Go out, girl. Go. Of course, I don't know why wouldn't you be going on stage at Omnia without me? I don't know why. Of course, just go. Live whatever nightclub, Mr. Jones, whatever you want to go to. Why? Of course, you're going out with the girls without me. Well, that makes a total sense. And again, my whole thing is, I don't want to even go in. So if I have a beautiful girlfriend, I don't want to go into social situations without her. Now, now granted, I will tell you there's a double standard here, Jedediah. When I go out with a beautiful woman, men admire me more and women admire me more. When a beautiful woman goes out with me, men get jealous and she loses followers, and women get jealous and are hateful. So it is different. There is definitely a double standard when it comes to that. So that's part of the reason why you'll notice. Have you seen the soccer wives where the husbands will post a picture of the family and the wife will post a picture alone on in a bikini by herself?
Oh yeah,
there's a double standard here, and I totally understand that. But I'm not. The idea that you just need to go off and get all this stimulus without me, it's obvious what's going on, even if you aren't cognitively aware of it subconsciously. You need to understand that's why you're behaving this way. All Homo sapiens are involved. They just want sexual selection and higher sexual access. That just basically is the primary drivers for most of our proclivities.
Mike, I think this used to be easier. You said liberal, right?
Yeah, it is liberal men. It is a woke blue pill ideology that you should just not be insecure.
I hear that, but I think it used to be simpler when you didn't have like this very prominent rise of the conservative feminist now, which I really am paying a lot of attention to. I cannot believe I've done reactions to Megyn Kelly, to Tomi Lahren, we just did one to Emily Wilson. It's wild to me. And it was my own reality that I had to become aware of. I don't know how much you know about my interactions with Rollo, but the way that I met Rollo originally, I was working with a different channel and we did an interview and I suddenly heard myself for the first time in my life. I wasn't living what I was saying. I was, married and my husband was head of household and all that. But I felt this knee-jerk reaction, this reflex to defend these things that I was like, I don't even sound like me. What am I saying? Where I had to go home and sit, self-reflect and be like, holy shit, the chip is in me too. Boom, get it out. But I think it's getting harder for guys because now you have guys that are conservative men that by all standards feel like, okay, I know my role. I'm the masculine guy. I'm the guy, right? I'm the provider. I'm the protector. I'm going to go find myself a conservative woman. She's talking about conservative values. She's got the Trump hat on. I'm good, right? I'm good to go. And then they get into the situation and suddenly that woman starts talking and, ripping on stay-at-home moms or saying, oh, you're just going to stay at home and make sourdough bread and talking about, well, you're going to be trapped by a man. And all of a sudden this guy is like, did I marry, who is this Chelsea Handler in disguise? What the hell's going on? So it's getting harder to even delineate this as a conservative versus liberal problem because it's like this rise of the conservative feminists. I think women need to realize that this little chip, this brainwashing chip, oh man, maybe it's in all of us and it's just a matter of which women just gut it out. Or maybe some women got spared who grew up in the country and weren't exposed to this crazy city, toxic life. I don't know, but the guys are having a harder time in my view.
Yeah. So how about this? This is my thing. I've said this before on the show several times. You have the right, if as a woman, as a feminist, to have a 900 body count if you want. I just have the right to not date you.
Nasty.
And so
Nasty.
That's the thing. Exactly. But I have the right to not date you. And the problem is this. It's when the woman goes on TikTok and she makes a video. It's like, I made my husband a sandwich before he went to work. And there's all these women in the comments like, you set women's liberation back. You're a slave. Why are you doing this? Again, you have the right to make whatever decisions that you want. I just have the right to not date you. That's all it is. And what I'm saying is these women who are conservatives, because it's fun to be conservative, right? Less government. Let's all have our guns. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love being conservative. I'm from Texas. I'm very conservative. I'm a Protestant man from Texas. I love I joined the military. I love it. But I will also say, while that part is fun, there's other parts of conservatism that women aren't going to like as much. And so my whole point is, if you want to be a woman and you want to be a provider in the family, that's fine. Just stop criticizing women who want to stay at home. There's a survey done by Forbes. Everybody, please look it up. Whenever I get into debates with feminists, I show this survey and it completely shuts them up. 83% of women who are in the workforce said that they wished that they had enough money from their husband so that they could stay at home and take care of the kids. 83%. These are not women who are staying at home. These are women who are working. The feminist dream. And 83%, that is 1.5 standard deviations for you nerds. 83% of women are saying they'd rather stay home. How in the world does that fit with your feminist narrative that the only reason why women are staying at home with these kids is because of the subjugation of the male, because of patriarchy, when 83% of women are saying that they would prefer to do this? No, what's happened is, smoking and drinking are not good for you. You can still do it, but we can tell you, hey man, that's not good for you. When you talk about women in their 40s that are childless and unmarried or whatever, they're being advised to be this way. Don't get married. Don't have kids. You're going to be so happy. No, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be prescribed medication and then check mark that you're happy. You're not happy. That's not what's happening. And what we're saying is it's not good for you. If you want to go to your 50, not have any kids, that's on you. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not here to judge you. Do whatever you want. But my point is, you can't then criticize my girlfriend because she wants to take care of me.